Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Camppatton Family Compound. Uh, Tonight's topic for Friday night on the Homestead, we get this going right here, is cooking in cast iron. And I got Tammy from Rebel Canners here with us, and she's
Hello.
also going live on her channel with this as well as Facebook. So welcome everybody from no matter where you're at, coming on in here.
From everywhere.
Yeah. All right, let me get over here to comments and see who all's in here right now. Looks like we got 12 people showing up up above here. But we got, besides Tammy, we got Rick Thielen. I always mispronounce that. Walt Rogers, Chef Tech, Geeky Gardens is here. Phelan Clan. Oh, Phelan's actually making it from Scout Camp. He's up there working at Scout Camp. So he's probably upstairs in the office doing paperwork while he's listening. Tammy Harder is here. The links in the chat there, Mark.
Yeah, the link is in the link.
Yeah, the link is in the link, as they say over on Wide Family Farm. And Lewis is here. It's the Marshmallow Man.
My lighting is bad. Sorry.
Oh man, I've had for the last 5.5 hours, I've had 4 grandkids running around here.
I had 2.
Yeah. None of them are eating what they normally want to eat. And it's like, yeah, I mean, usually the oldest one, Eli, the one with autism, loves a slice of Munster cheese with mustard on both sides of the bread. I mean, both have, so basically it's a Munster cheese sandwich. Won't touch it right now. Usually eats 2 or 3 of those. The youngest one, who usually doesn't like it, snagged up the one I made for Eli. So at least that one didn't go to waste. Oh.
We have been on not me, because I don't like this, but my sister and my son, I'm here at my sister's house. We have been on a ground bologna sandwich kick. I had to go buy a second ring of bologna so they can make another batch of ground bologna sandwiches.
Never heard of ground bologna.
Yeah, they take plain bologna and grind it up and mix it with mayonnaise and dill pickle relish or sweet pickle relish.
Okay. I make it simpler. Mayonnaise on both sides, a big scoop of sweet pickle relish on one side, squirt a little mustard on the other side, grab 2 slices of bologna, throw it in between, slap it together, and have fun.
Yeah. I think
what's funny is I tricked the boys into trying it because they didn't want to try it. I cut it into eighths. I say, this is the way my mom used to make it for me when I was a little kid. Your mom made it? This is great. Then their dad, being the cheapskate he is, because I only use beef bologna, got the cheapest turkey and pork and chicken bologna. Yeah, exactly. And Danny stepped up 3 points in my on my favorite grandson scale, refused to eat it and said, this tastes like dog shit.
Oops. Well, we are bologna snobs. In Michigan, we have this thing called Kogel's bologna.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the best of the best. And we had to go to 2 stores today to get Kogel's bologna because Walmart doesn't carry Kogel's here anymore. That's a tactical error on their part because sales will go because all they have is the stuff you just mentioned.
So yeah, well, the Walmarts here have my bologna has a first name.
Yes.
They have that one, and then they have Bar S, which actually the beef Bar S is about half the price of the Oscar Mayer.
Mm-hmm.
But the ingredients, look at the ingredients. Okay, about the 4th one down or something like that was some corn was
Yep.
corn syrup, but it doesn't have a bunch of other crap in it. And it's like, okay, get rid of this crap, but I get a little corn syrup. The boys are running around at 400 miles an hour anyway, so they're going to burn it off. And here's Mark. And can't hear you. Yeah. Yeah, because it's not even showing that you're muted, just showing, yeah.
Uh-oh. I had to go out and come back in twice myself, so.
Yeah. Suzanne Galley is here. She's coming in on your side. Interesting thing about the bologna, none of the boys yet have asked to have it this way, but as a kid, we used to, much to my mother's chagrin, when she wasn't around, we'd fry up the bologna in the pan and have a fried bologna sandwich.
My mom did that.
And then my sons both did that, which really drove their mother up the wall because she can't even stand the smell of a fried cutting a hot dog in half and frying it in the pan. She can't stand that smell. She can take it over a campfire because it's got smoky wood in it and everything else on it. But frying a hot dog, even a Hebrews National, open on a thing is yeah. But at Scout Camp, you'd be surprised. The first couple of days, while we still had a ton of ice in the ice chest, we had the packages of bologna and the cast iron skillets came out of the patrol foot lockers, and they were frying up bologna or hot dogs, not on a stick, cutting it in half, frying both sides of the hot dogs, and doing that instead of going over to the mess hall when they found out what was in the mess hall for dinner that night. All right. I don't know if I said Tammy Harder is here as well. Okay, so tonight's topic here. Let's get in. I'm looking at the skillet here and the thing here, and even though they got one of those silicone high temperature gloves on there, it almost looks like it has a wooden sleeve on it. But most people no longer connect. There's a particular word, but connect cast iron with indoor cooking. And when my wife was pregnant with our daughter, her iron was low, and the doctor told her, asked her what she was cooking on. She goes, "You got cast iron?" "Oh yeah, we got a bunch of cast iron." He goes, "Use it. Cook on the cast iron. You won't have to take iron pills. You won't have to do this or that. You just cook on it. He'll pick up natural iron enough level. And the next time, about a month later, when I had her do another blood test, perfect."
Yeah, so. I was anemic in high school, and we got out the cast iron and started cooking. I have my grandmother's cast iron pan, and I love that thing. I love that thing.
We have one of her grandmothers. I don't know if she has a couple of odd pieces around. I don't know if those are from the other grandmother or not, but the one grandmother set all has round wooden handles on it.
Yes.
So it was cast with a thing on it, and they threaded the end, put the wood on it, and then put on this like an eyelet ring on it so you can hang it. And she's got, I think let's see, 1, 2 pans. I think it's a 6-piece, not counting lids. So, but then she saw what I had in the camping box. I got a 20-inch diameter, 3-inch deep Cajun Classic cast iron pan. I got two 17-inch, 2-inch deep cast iron skillets. I got 4 Dutch ovens with legs, 1 Dutch oven without legs, and here he comes again. Maybe. I'll try just all right, there we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Is it?
Hello? Hello? Are you there? Are you there? Can you hear me now?
Is it muffled? Because, whoops, sorry, you're looking at the top of my roof of my cabin here.
Yeah.
Yeah, little technological issues out here in Neverland, which not really Neverland. 2 iPads, a computer, and 2 iPhones. I can't get any of them to work. I had to resort to the old iPad.
And we didn't have any solar storm stuff going on either.
No, I'm just in a valley with really
things.
So there, let's see.
And yeah, so and then I have a couple cast iron pots that were my grandmother's on my mom's side. No legs on them, but the lids have the rings of not dimples, but little bumps coming down. So as the steam collects, it drops down in the middle, not on the outside edge. But
I just got at a garage sale last summer a 1 or 1.5 quart Dutch oven, no legs, with the lid and the bale handle. I think I got it for like $2. Oh, and it's beautiful. It just needed a little oven. It was a little rusty.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to give everybody a hint here that most people that weren't raised on cast iron a lot, if you come across any Dutch oven or skillet or anything, and on the bottom of it says Grissom, pretend it's, if you find, especially if you find it at a flea market or something like that. Oh, talk bad about over here. I think I can clean this up. I'll give you so much for it. The Grissom is like the Lincoln Continental of Dutch ovens and cast iron stuff. It's the good old school quality stuff, which is better made even today after all these years than the newest stuff. He lost.
We lost.
He went out. He looks like, and he's coming back in again.
Well, I was trying to flip my camera and all that, but on an iPad, it's pain in the butt.
So you find Grissom out there.
There we go.
Buy it, and if it's in pristine condition, it's just about worth whatever they're asking for it,
or more.
And so basically, the inside of it, without the seasoning on it, is smooth as a baby's bottom. When you season it, ain't nothing sticking to the inside of it. And let's see here. I just want to checking the site chat. Okay, so on the ones here, some of the stuff we've bought since we actually bought, like this one in the middle here, the griddle one with the lines on it and stuff. Just put a steak on it, puts the sear lines on it like we did it on an outdoor grill. But we got one of those. We got several of the mold ones, the ones that are so you got, it looks like a corn cob for putting the cornbread in, or some of the other shaped ones. We got several shovel ones, and we also have one. I always mispronounce it. Pinocchio.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's a German pancake one. You pour the stuff in there, and it starts cooking, and you take out like a toothpick and you flip it over inside the little dimples of it, and it's hollow. When you take it out, you can pop the end open, and you put jam and stuff in it and eat those. Yes, that's a German one. And my wife saw one of those, and she snagged it. And she used it when the kids were little. She used to cook it in a whole bunch. But as they got older, she told them, you guys can learn to cook in this too. But none of them wanted to take care of the cast iron. Now my youngest one, he is turning into a cast iron fanatic and care and everything else. He's watching all the videos from the International Dutch Oven Society for caring with the Dutch oven, how to season it, how to clean rusty ones and restore them. So, all right, let's go on to
I'm a purist. I always season mine with lard.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's done a couple with tallow because he didn't have lard. I personally, we can't tell the difference.
Yeah, that's still good. I've used coconut oil in a pinch.
All right, let's see what we got here coming up here. Oh, I want that setup.
It's like mine in the summer.
Yeah. If you're watching this on a phone or a tablet, you're missing out on this. You'll almost need to replay this at the timestamp of 21 minutes or 22 minutes to catch this picture here. This is a setup I would love to have, and I love all the different all these hooks up here of different lengths and stuff, or how far you want it away from the flames and everything. And
I have those. They're not too bad if you're like hanging a Dutch oven. I love the coffee pot, the thing that slides around for the coffee pot. I have one of those. We keep that on there all the time with water in it so that we can always do dishes, we can always make coffee, we can always make tea. So when I cook at the camp in the summer, I have a setup just about like this, except it's a fire ring, not a pan.
Yeah.
And it's got the different hook sizes I can move over. I can raise and lower. I've got two of the big ones that slide in to put hamburgers and hot dogs on, or steaks or whatever. And then the coffee pot one on the other side like that. And I can raise and lower those. And that's really nice. But you can't do it while you've got stuff on it. You have to do it before you cook it.
One of the ones I saw at a campground, it was a down by Lompoc, California, down by Santa Barbara down there. At the not Motel 6 is one of the, like, I think it was the Best Western or something, but they had several cook spots around the motel. And they had several things similar to this with the grates that went on it. But what they did is the things that slid on were loose from had like a locking ring below it, and then had a big handle off the back of it, so you could swing it around in and out. You could pick it up by that handle, and someone else would adjust the locking sleeve under it.
That would be nice.
Yeah. But what I like here in this picture here, you notice what they got the lids for, where they got the lids for the Dutch oven sitting? Right down over the fires.
And see, I always take mine and swing it out when I'm not using it, so that I can use it as a top surface, like a prep surface.
But I know what they're doing with the lids, doing it this way.
Getting them ready to bake
in them. Hot.
Yep.
And when they put it back on the Dutch oven, it's already radiating the heat.
Yep.
So, all right. So yeah, this is some outdoor stuff. Really good. Oh, the other thing, down on the bottom right here, that looks like I'm guessing that's about 1.5 gallons, maybe a 2-gallon narrow, tall Dutch oven, because it's got legs on it, but it doesn't. But the lid doesn't take coal. You can't put the coals on the lid.
It looks to me like a chili pot.
Yeah. So yeah, that's another type of pot.
While you have this one up, I want to point out the difference. Now, when you're looking at antique cast iron, the antique cast iron that was meant for stoves does not have feet. The antique cast iron that was meant to be used outdoors for cooking over an open fire, they all have feet. So keep that in mind when you're purchasing it, that tells you what it was for.
Yeah. One of the things too, I'm thinking about it before I forget it again. My grandmother told me about the fireplace they had in there at the ranch house up in Idaho back in, well, she was born in 1899. So it had 2 big arms that would swing in and out into the fireplace over the fire. And they would hang big, huge pots like that. And she said they even had a big old 5-gallon cauldron.
Oh yeah.
That they just that they slot do in there. And when you got you got mom and dad and 13 kids, you need a 5-gallon pot to make a stew.
Yeah, that and you need it to heat your water for your Saturday baths for your Sunday go to meeting time. Sherry,
Sherry's in on Facebook. Woohoo!
Ooh.
And so yeah. And so
Now,
I mean, there's a lot of different type cast iron, and it all has a good purpose.
I also need to thank Sherry because Sherry, when her channel was up and going, I won a Lodge cast iron frying pan from her, and I'm still using that too. I love my Lodge, and that was awesome. Thank you, Sherry. Still using
I remember those. I was so jealous when you got it too. Like,
I was like, yes! I was so excited.
All right, next one here. This is something my son
That'd be nice to have.
has talked about doing. Taking an old and cutting it top to bottom in half. And so you got the two halves there they are using to have the coals in. And then they got pipe handles on it so they can move them around. And then they got all the nice little fancy horseshoe hooks on top so they can raise and lower the bars.
My dad had one of those. He cut one of those in half for me for a pig feeder.
But what I just noticed, I was looking at this on a big picture before. What I just noticed is right down here in front.
Yep.
The stands to put the Dutch oven lid on, or the Dutch ovens themselves on, made out of horseshoes.
Yep, and keep them out of the dirt.
Mm-hmm. But
don't mind me. I'm making my sausage. I'm hungry.
Yeah, you were talking about hot dogs. You got Mark hungry.
Yeah,
he's got to go out there.
I was hungry before the show. I was starting to get stuff prepped up, including my little cast iron whatever skillet I bought here, and an enamel one for my onions and butter.
Oh, that's what. Okay, I got that to show too. So,
where's CR when I'm cooking? And I can't see any comments, so because it's an old iPad.
All right, so Kaylin said she doesn't have a Dutch oven. Howie's in the house. Food forest permaculture. And let's see what we got here. The next one I got. Okay, here's some Lodge ones. Here's one of the lids with a whole bunch of the dimples on it. A flat lid with dimples on it. And then here's the cornbread mold.
Yep, got to make your cornbread in that.
And then they got a trivet here as well. They got a nice twist handle lifter for it.
Lid lifter.
So there is a lot of good cast iron around, different things you can get, different type sets and stuff. And okay, now I'm switching it. I'm switching it off of cast iron. Why I'm switching is I can't find. I spent an hour and a half today looking on the web trying to find the photo of the griddle we made at Mountain Cascade Construction. And basically, we had what's called a street plate. When they do work in the street, they put those big 1-inch thick steel plates over it, the hole, so they can go the next day. They can pull it off. Okay. Well, we don't know how it happened, but one cracked. Okay.
Must have been a Tesla.
Don't know how it happened. We don't know how it happened. The ditch didn't cave in, but somehow one of them cracked. And so what we did is we squared up across the crack, and the two pieces on the end that were cracked, we cut them up into griddles, big griddles, 36-inch wide, 2-foot deep griddles. And a bunch, and the boss just gave, after we cut them, he goes, okay, you have one, you can have one. That's your bonus, that's your, because you're talking a 1-inch thick steel slab that is smooth. It's worn smooth by all the tires going over it and stuff. you're talking a lot of money there just in scrap, just for the scrap, selling for scrap. But he gave them out, and we would use them at company picnics. We get a big pit fire going and lay them across. The reason they made them 3 foot wide by 2 foot is if we had a 4 foot manhole barrel, the curve on it, the corners would sit on the inside lip of the manhole barrel. They had a couple of those for fire pits.
Nice.
And but it would take a while for it to get. It'd be like doing a pig or something. You get the fire going for a long time beforehand, and you start doing it. Now, one of the things a lot of people don't know is you season any steel griddles like this should be seasoned just like a Dutch oven.
Yes.
Like this one here is not seasoned hardly at all. Nothing. And it really needs to be seasoned till it's black.
Yeah.
Because then it's non-stick. So whether it's cast iron or cast steel or cold rolled steel like street plates are and stuff, that's a good one. And here's one someone made, a homemade steel one. That one's, you can tell that one's kind of you can see the seasoning in that one. But
he's even got a gutter on it for the grease to run out.
Yes. Looking at it, the weld spot on the thickness on it, it looks like that's 3/8 inch thick steel with 1/8 inch siding on it, which is still, basically the siding helps keeps it from warping.
Right.
But
I had one made out of a 1/2 inch plate way long time ago when it was cheap. 1/2 inch plate. It fits on one of those 2 burner big grills. I still have it. I still have the griddle. And I used to bring it to work. We used to cook lunches on that. And I put 3 sides on it. It didn't have a gutter. I just had to tip it a little bit so the grease ran off of one side or the other, which made a mess. But who cares?
Yeah. But this is not type, unless you have a Wolf stove indoors, you wouldn't be using this type griddle indoors. Of course, a good Wolf stove has a thick, I think it's 3/4 inch steel griddle on it. And here's another homemade griddle, steel. They welded the on the inside. You see some welds there and different weld spots on it. But it looks like 1/4 inch steel on the outside and 3/8 steel on the bottom on it.
Oh.
But
and Mark's sound effects is perfect to go with the hamburgers frying.
Oh, can you hear that? I got my headphones on for once, so you can probably hear everything.
Me hungry.
I was gonna say, where's CR when I'm cooking?
I just ate dinner and I'm hungry.
They're just hot Italian sausages and some onions and the other skillet, and I'm just spinning them around so they don't burn. It's starting to burn, but then I'll throw them in the onions and let them cook in there for a little while.
Yeah.
You hungry yet? There's nobody else here. Come on down. I mean,
might be a little long.
Yeah, might take you a little bit.
That's quite the distance.
So I've seen a lot of homemade griddles like this for people use for out at scout camps and stuff like that. And the ingenuity on some of them are great. Now, I've seen people take something like this to keep it from warping. They'll take some 1-inch angle iron and put it so not like this on the bottom. So, and then weld along it in spots to keep it from warping. And of course, the thicker your steel is, the less it's going to warp generally.
Yeah.
Generally. But like cast iron, I mean, if you take care of it, keep it seasoned, this will last you a couple hundred years. And pass it down to your great grandchildren.
So there was a trick my mother-in-law's husband taught me a long time ago. He had a machine shop, and we had a cast iron pan that we used for whatever. And it was the whole bottom. Like when they're new, they're like, we'll just call it, has like a pebbly bottom, which is great. I mean, eventually the seasoning coats it over. It's nice and black and dark and carbony. And we took a die grinder to it with the sanding discs, made it absolutely mirror smooth, cleaned it off really well, and then loaded it up with lard and seasoned the crap out of it. And we threw that thing in the barbecue probably 15 times. It was black, and it was jet smooth. Nothing stuck. You didn't even need to throw butter in. You just put pancake batter in there, and you could flip it, like just grab the handle and do the little chefy flip thing. It was great. I got a couple pans I want to do that too.
My father did that with stainless on top on an incinerator we used to have. Yeah.
Nice.
Rick says he's making hamburgers for lunch. Hamburgers up there cooking. Not fair to cook in front of us. Now, what I am partial. I'll admit I am very partial to Wolf stoves. I grew up from the time I was actually before I was born. My mom was cooking on a Wolf stove for my grandfather's rental equipment and catering company, and they had two of the how many burn? One was all griddle, and I swear that sucker was 3 feet wide.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe
and the other one was probably six or eight burners on the other one.
And the other one had more than that. I don't think Wolf makes them anymore.
No, Wolf was good. Unless you can find a good Garland, which you can get with like the 6-burner, and then the griddle, which under the griddle has a little the broiler, and then either a single big oven or 2 ovens that you can still fit a commercial sheet tray in, a full size. Pizza, Caitlin.
Oh, Caitlin.
God. Well, you can heat up your pizza in a cast iron skillet tomorrow.
Anyways, each of the 2 stoves that were in there had 2 ovens under them.
Those are big.
Maybe 5 or 6 foot wide. They were huge industrial Wolf ovens, and those things were a dream to cook on.
Now, what you haven't shown, I have one thing on my wish list. I just found out they make in cast iron. I want a cast iron bread pan.
Yep, my mom has one. Well, had one. I think my daughter has it now. It's cool. Yeah. It's heavy, and it's a bread pan. And I'm like, my wife's like, we don't need a bread pan. I'm like, fine, give it to my oldest daughter because she has everything my mom had for the most part in cast iron, the corn roll, the corn muffin makers and all that stuff. I kind of miss it.
Now I'm going to switch here and get something up here. Okay. We're going to modern stuff here now with cast iron.
Okay. Oh, I have one of those.
Ceramic or porcelain. They have some vintage ones as well. These are vintage clad cookware.
That's mine.
But there we go.
Yeah, I have the bigger one back, the red one there. It's red too, and I love it.
Yeah, my wife we got the set, and we forgot that I'd gotten her the one set, and it was sitting in the corner of the pantry room. We got it at Sam's Club. It was a two set of enamel cast iron casserole pans, basically. But then they were the first one we got was the red. Second, about 2 years later at Christmas time, they had it on sale again. They got the blue one, and so I got the blue one for her. And she goes, this is cool. And then she goes, wait a minute, don't we have a red one?
So
still in the box, never used, because at the time we were both going both ways. And she kept talking about wanting to get back into using the cast iron stuff. Well, now, she has it, but she's going to bring it up here probably one of the next couple times she comes up, because she says she's never going to use it down there, and she'll cook more up here than she is down there with the way the work schedule for boys.
The problem with the enamel cast iron is it tends to burn, and then you can never get it off. Even if you scrape that thing with a razor blade, you can never get the burn out of the bottom of that pot. It's sort of,
Out of the inside.
yeah.
No, I just throw some water, a little soap in there, put it back on the stove, let it boil, let it soak overnight. I get it. Well, it depends on how bad you burn it.
Yeah. It wasn't me personally, but at our house.
Somebody forgot something and went dry on the stove and turned it to carbon.
All right, so
we cannot get that out.
This is I clicked the ceramic on this one here, but then if I go back and click the porcelain, you got a lot more porcelain sets of porcelain. Yeah.
Ooh, I like the green color.
Actually, that's what mine is here. It's porcelain, not ceramic. So everybody's heard of Aldi, and everybody goes to Aldi for their food. So we have Lidl, the sister store, sister competitor, whatever out here. They randomly have I forget the manufacturer of it, but the cookware that you're looking at here, they had a wok. Ooh. It is a full-size, no enamel, cast iron wok. And I got one. It was like $60. I don't think is it out? I might have it here. I'd have to go see if I have it in the cabin here. And but that thing, because regular wok is steel, you need high heat. Everybody likes to use their little electric skillet, and when you try to wok food, you just boil it. No, you need high heat, and it's called jumping the food around. But yeah, me and my buddy Rich are gonna do that thing out here at some point. Bring all the stuff we need to make Chinese food or whatever in a wok, and we're cooking on a wok on a fire. Wok on a fire.
I gotta make I have a video on my other spring rolls or egg rolls, and I've got to make another batch. I've got a request to make another batch. Now you guys are making me think, oh, maybe I should make some Chinese food to go with that.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to go to do sacrilege as far as cast iron here goes. Go to Amazon.
So if you want a good tip, a good authentic type Chinese food, let me know. I'll explain how it really works versus throwing your raw vegetables and everything in there, and it sizzles for a second, and then you're boiling. And it's really a little extra work involved, but it's definitely worth it.
Okay, I typed in cast iron. What do I come up with here? Your regular Amazon basic stuff. This one here says it's a pre-seasoned cast iron bread and loaf pan. Over here, you got the far right. You got a Lodge cast iron loaf pan, 8.5 by 4.5 inches. And we got this one here. I'm going to open up this one here. Just this is bread enameled cast iron. Okay. So the inside's enameled, outside is not enameled, and it doesn't say what the inside of the dome lid looks like, but that's for like sourdough loaves, like San Francisco sourdough.
So rounded.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna have to talk to the staff sergeant about that one. Add to list. Baking. Where'd baking go? There's baking. Boom. There we go. Added it to baking.
Now, I'm also a purist. I never use soap and I very little water. It has to be dried immediately and put in the oven and reseasoned, and no soap on my cast iron. Ugh.
Okay.
Don't want to taste that forever.
All right. Here's a Camp Chef one on the left. I wasn't showing that, was I?
No.
All right.
No.
Okay. Let me go back. Okay. So there's the loaf pan here. Yeah, with the sourdough loaf pan. So that's enamel inside. I go back here, go up one. Okay, so you got the tin, cast iron, tin, cast iron, Lodge cast iron.
Yeah, the Lodge.
Ooh,
the
a
Lodge
two-piece
is the one
Lodge.
on mine.
Yeah,
I like the one with the lid on it because you can make a Pullman loaf in there. That's really cool.
Yeah. So you got the cast iron cuisine land. What do you want to call it?
Yeah.
Made in China, I bet.
Quizzy land. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, like Cuisinart, yeah. But so that's a little bit different shape on that one there, but it says cast iron. And looking at that lid, and looking at the sides here, definitely needs to be worked with the die grinder and the
Very
Yeah,
separate.
sanding disc.
No, it's not sanding paper. It's not sanding paper. It's what we use on the engine blocks on the heads when we want to smooth it off.
Oh, the hone. Hone. Yeah.
It's that like it's like the green scrubby stuff on the back of sponge, or this is industrial strength stuff doing steel with.
Scotch Brite.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's that one. There's that one. Go back here to this one here. Here's a enamel outside and in one for a domed French bread. But this one here, oh, look at that one there. So there's your
I like that one.
2.5 quart.
That's a good size loaf.
Yeah, it says pre-seasoned. Has the handles on the ends.
Make one hell of a meatloaf in there.
Or a scrapple. That's a scrapple pan where you take your cornmeal and your sausage and you make scrapple, and then you can.
Or you can make a home fry pie or cake.
All right.
I don't know. You don't have any potatoes, do you there, Tammy? No.
No potatoes. I'm not making no potatoes, Anna, where you do the layered potatoes forever. No, I have no potatoes. None.
All right. So this one here is a 2.5 quart one. This is the 5.8 quart, almost 2 gallons.
That's a roasting pan then.
Yeah, that's you're doing it. You can do a whole duck in there.
Yeah.
Not even a chicken, a duck, maybe a small turkey.
Spatchcock turkey.
Yeah. Ooh.
There's the big one.
Yep, there you go. Potatoes.
Bacon.
Is it potatoes and bacon? I'm seeing. I must be rhubarb season. I'm seeing rhubarb custard pie in that.
Oh, I like this. You notice the lid has legs on it?
Legs. Yep.
No, it's a griddle. Sweet.
It's a griddle.
Ooh.
That is a
Dual
griddle.
purpose. Nice.
And unfortunately, right now they're out. They don't even have it featured up from other sellers available yet. This one is 67, so that one's probably going to be about 150 for the big one. But I mean, that is just that is something. Okay, hang on.
Scalloped potatoes for the whole family reunion.
Adding that,
and the neighborhood, and the county, and everybody. Yeah. Oh, you have enough potatoes for that.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, what are we gonna do? Back here.
Do our whole county. I could do scalloped potatoes for serve the entire county, and I'd still have leftovers.
Oh, okay. This is not made. This one here specifically says in it, Challenger bread pan, made in the USA.
Ooh.
All right. So, and that's that looks like a fairly large one. Come on. Just to look at that, folks. Oh, okay, yeah. It's fairly large.
Okay, this makes me want to get my sourdough starter going again.
Oh, yeah.
I dehydrated it and gave it a rest, but I may have to open it back up again.
My daughter has a good sourdough she's got going. I keep telling her to bring some over. I want to throw it in the freeze dryer, bag it up, wait 6 months, rehydrate it, and see if it comes back. If it does, she's golden. She'd be like, if that works, that would be great. I'm like, yeah, in 20 years, you can have the same sourdough starter you had today.
Oh, yeah, it'll work. You just have to give it a little extra love, and you can't like open it and use it. You need to let it go for a couple of, but yeah, it would work just like when you buy it. I bought like Alaskan sourdough starter and San Francisco starter. Well, I actually didn't buy the Alaskan. It was a gift, but.
All right. So this one right here, this 5-quart Lodge, smooth bottom, smooth top lid on it. So
it's a skillet too.
Skillet.
The top is the skillet.
Yeah.
These both will work good on a induction stovetop.
Ooh.
So that's one good thing about cast iron I learned. It works on it. And hang on, the staff sergeant just sent me. Oh, okay. I'm going to try to show this to you. This is across the street from the California house. Hang on, let me make me big and see if I can get this to show up there. This is the construction going on directly across the street. You drive out of our driveway, you drive up into that.
Nice.
And this used to be, it's going up there, and that's the storm drain they're putting in to it.
Oh.
And did she do the other one here? Do I have the other one here? There is them jackhammering into it before they dig it up there.
Oh.
So, and we can take it back to normal here. And there was something I didn't want to show you guys. Cast iron pizza pan.
Oh yes. Those would be so nice.
That's basically what I'm using on my campfire here.
Yeah.
Does it show without the pizza in there? Does it have like little circles in there? Because I'm pretty sure that's what mine really is.
Okay, so 12-inch bottom, 14-inch to the handles.
Oh, it's smooth. Okay.
Smooth, yeah.
I could probably use mine for a pizza pan too, but
yeah. What I like interesting about this, it can also be used as a comal for tortillas.
Oh yeah,
round griddle or something else. There they got they listed all the different ethnicities that would use a round cast iron pan like this. Then
I'd use it to make my naan bread. That would be good for the naan bread.
Yeah, I still can't find
naan or pita.
Yeah, they're kind of the same.
Here we go. Here we go. Dang it! I'll have to go back on it. So you got your cornbread with dividers.
Yeah, you better hope it doesn't stick, because getting the cornbread out of each one of those things is going to make you really angry.
And that's why I don't use the one that looks like little corn cobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you don't have enough lard in there, they're not coming out, and you're not getting cornbread looking like a piece of corn. Yeah, like that one.
That one.
Like that one, yeah.
All those. It's not that it's hard to get out. I mean, eventually we get it all out of there. It's the problem. It's so hard to clean.
Yeah.
Yep. I picked up one of my customers who was going out of business, and he had a lot of weird things around, and I saw this. He had the flat, like the bacon flattener or the burger flattener, cast iron, Griswold. He had no idea. I was like, "What are you doing with that?" He's like, "Oh, you want it?" Because I was helping him. He's like, "You want it?" I'm like, "Sure." It's like 6x8. It's huge, and it has a doesn't have a wooden handle. It has a cast iron handle on it. I was like, and it's got it probably has about 100 years of seasoning on it. It needs to be stripped and redone because it's pretty nasty looking.
I love the chain mail for cleaning it though.
Yeah, I like. Here's your one chain mail. Here's the other one. I like the one with the handles. And then
you just pick up those stainless scrubbies.
Yeah.
You just pick up those stainless scrubbies.
We always got the SOS that didn't have the stuff in the inside.
There's your
my mom used to get so angry at me when I cleaned her cast iron with an SOS pad with the soap.
You can't use soap.
I was little. What did I know? Yeah. It's dirty. I got to clean it. I cleaned one of them down to the bare metal. She about lost her mind because that thing had been seasoned probably for 50 years.
Oh.
She was not happy. I was little. What are you going to do? She's like, do the dishes. I'm like, okay. She didn't tell me what to do with the cast iron. I didn't know. I'm like, it's dirty. So I cleaned it. I probably spent an hour and a half on it. I'm like, it's clean.
Ah! I'm going to cry. I would cry.
Well, I'm sure she did.
I got to find this other one here for you guys. Yes, there it is. I finally found it. Apple skeever. Apple skeever. So let me go back over here.
A
That
what?
is- hang on.
It's a
Maybe I'll
special
just show
German
it here.
pan.
There we go. This is an apple skeever. That's the bottom. That's the top. You put your dough in there, and you cook one side. You flip it over and cook the other side. And these are hollow.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
you use like a Danish pancake ball griddle. So the other thing for it. But then you put the
Put cream
you
puff
open
stuff in
it
there.
up and you put your for your syrup in there, or you put strawberry jam or apricot jam inside, and then you a little powdered sugar on it.
Yes.
And your
Zeppeli.
blood,
That's it.
your blood,
It's a
your blood
Zeppeli.
sugar goes into orbit. But yeah, these are my wife has one of these, and no one right now. I mean, she was going to try to get one time she tried to get the kids to do it, but they didn't want to do it. So I said, I'll do it. She goes, no. But I know how to cook it. No. So that's the other one there, and that's and that, guys, if you want a interesting cast iron for doing a pancake alternative in the mornings and stuff, this is the one to get. $20. You do 7 at a time, and they're just and there are probably all sorts of recipes for it. But apple skeever is the one thing for it. It has another one begins with an F on Finoki or something like that. But yeah.
Oh, those look good.
There is so much cast iron is so much better for you. The number one health benefit of cast iron, it's not giving off all these chemicals from these commercially petroleum nonstick surfaces.
You mean
No,
you
you get
don't
iron
eat
out of it.
Teflon? You don't eat Teflon when you're cooking cast iron?
But that nonstick coating helps me go poop in the morning. It makes it not stick. Sorry, I had to go there. Conversation always turns to crap. I know.
Yeah, we've got to get him over on one of Courtney's evening lives when the Poop Troop is in action over there. Her members is called the Poop Troop.
Yeah.
And the jokes go poop.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd have
All
a
right.
blast with that one.
Oh yeah. You'd have a blast with the theme song of it. If you look on YouTube, look up Everybody Poops song.
Everybody poops.
Yes. The president, the general and all his army and too. Everybody poops. Yeah, it's absolutely hilarious.
It is.
All right. Oh, we're hitting the time here. So everyone in side chat, hopefully gave you some ideas of different types of Dutch oven. I look here. I see Tammy Harder's comment. Let's run Dutch oven. I see Dutch oven. Let's start going Dutch oven now. Cast iron and options for different cast iron to use. And if you get hold of some big pieces of steel, makes a great griddle, but you season it just like cast iron. And yeah, so I mean, cast iron is so much healthier for you. And the best thing about it, even the smooth bottom ones like this one right here, you can still cook outside on a fire with it.
Yes. Yeah.
And if you need to, you get yourself a couple pieces of pipe and you lay it across there and put it right on top of the pipe with the coals under it, so it gives it the lift off of it, so you don't have little hot spots. And remember, you cook over coals, not over flames.
Yes.
Unless you're really hungry like I was, in which case there's still flames going, but you got the heat anyway, because I don't care. I'm starving to death here.
But you pull it to the side of that. You don't cook it right.
Well, I had to, because it was starting to burn my enamel.
And
I don't want to have to clean that.
We actually have.
That reminds me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Gil. Before I forget, always coat the bottom of your pan if you're doing it over an open flame with your, that's the only place the dish soap goes. Coat it with a skim coat of dish soap, and then it makes cleanup easy.
Yeah.
It's the outside of the pan. Nobody eats off the outside of the pan, so you know.
But it has to look pretty.
Yeah.
Hanging in a row on my shelf with all my
Yeah.
cast iron. Okay, sorry.
At one of the scout camps, Chawanaki, at Chawanaki Scout Camp, we took my big 20-inch, 3-inch deep skillet up there because down there they had one night where the scoutmasters and the adult leaders were encouraged to cook in their own camp, where they had the scouts over at the mess hall. And generally, you could also make arrangements to buy steaks from the at cost from the mess hall and cook it yourself. So one of our guys, he goes, "I'll be back in an hour and a half." He knew a farmer up there that had a lot of beef that he sold, and went over and got some filet mignon cuts from him. And we did that in the cast iron skillet. And he did the cooking. He goes, "I'll cook this." He came back with all these two or three different types of onions, fresh. He was doing the garlic press right onto the yes, and just and a pound of butter went in there. And
you can't see it. That's
man.
Getting a little dark out. But
yeah, it's getting dark here because it's getting late. But that's my sausage on a baguette. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's CR?
Cast iron is it's all right. It is the ultimate cookware. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter whether you have a nice fancy electric range or a gas range or a backyard barbecue pit. It's good for anything.
I find it interesting that up until 1969, 70, 68, everybody used cast iron and steel or stainless steel, Revere ware stainless. I have all my Revere. I love it. It's stainless. And then we went back to, let's look at this new chemical that makes it nonstick. And now we got 400 new chemicals later, and we're all going back to cast iron again. Imagine that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when I was in the early 1960s, my grandmother had two, was it wherever? Shoot. Aluminum pots, thick aluminum pots. Yep. That's what she did the blackberry jam in. And also that's what she did the chicken and dumplings in. She had the shorter, wider one. She did chicken and dumplings in that. All right, folks, we're hitting the time here, but I want to point this out. Tomorrow night special on Gray Man Prepping. The topic is Prepper Garden. Howie from Food Forest Permaculture is coming up, and we're going to be talking about it's gardening, but we're talking about prepper gardening as far as what is a prepper garden, why is it different than a regular garden, and if you didn't catch Howie's video today of Food Forest Permaculture, where he was out in common areas, city-owned or areas, planting fig trees, guerrilla gardening. Hey,
I saw that one.
That's prepper. That's a prepper garden away from your house.
Yep.
So
he was on early. He was on earlier today too. I hopped on his feed. He's like, "Come on up." And I came up and he's like, "Oh, I remember you." I'm like, "Yeah, I was on with you last night."
Yeah, I came in after that was over, and I'm going to be doing the replay because I got grandkids and I was out there working in my garden. I picked up 2 new trees today, 2 apple trees. I picked up a shoot. Trying to remember here. Hang on. I got to bring up the PDF over here again. Okay, so this is cool. If anybody wants this, email. Cancel. This is from Town and Country Gardens here. Fruit trees for East Idaho, zone 5. But
yeah, whatever.
Hardiness and everything else. But where's my apples? Apples. I got I should have gotten the Sweet 16. If they got Sweet, I may be going back there tomorrow and getting the Sweet 16, Zone 3. But I got the Zestar Zone 3, and I got the Honeycrisp Zone 4. So I got them both in semi-dwarf.
Cool.
So for that, so I may go back and get that Sweet 16. Cooking, dessert, storage. Yeah, I may go back and get that Sweet 16 tomorrow. Oh, there's another $116. These are in.
How do they make them semi-dwarf? Do they dump some of that? They dump some of that cormaquat chloride on there to make them dwarf? Just kidding. I'm gonna bring that up a lot every time you bring up a dwarf tree.
It's the rootstock. It's the rootstock.
Yeah,
I know.
but yeah. So I got two more. So this is fitting in for tomorrow. Tomorrow over on Gray Man Prepper Garden, and Prepper Garden. All these preppers that say, "Oh, I got it," they need to be doing a prepper garden now, because it takes, unless you get the 15-gallon bucket, pot thing tree that's producing a ton of fruit now. You're gonna pay for it several years. Yeah, you're gonna pay for it, but you get it in there and boom. My wife has a Granny Smith there in California, and she has a Fuji. Shoot, I'd have to look at it, but I'll cover that tomorrow about the apples on that. Either the Fuji or the Granny Smith is a Zone 4 apple, even though it's in the San Francisco Bay Area and just producing more than puts boxes of apples out curbside for people to take. So anyway, that's what tomorrow is the prepper garden. Monday, we'll be talking about canning potatoes. Not so much about why, of canning potatoes, but why. What will you use these canning potatoes for? So people, if you have recipes for using canned potatoes, bring your recipes, especially if it's an unusual recipe.
Yeah, Tammy needs it.
Joe
and his pierogies.
Oh, yes. Oh, Caitlin, thank you for that idea. I actually, thank you. I am going to use that idea. I saw it right after we got off. So thank you.
Yeah. So, so there are, if you have like Tammy, you think you have too many potatoes, there are options to use those canned potatoes. And if you hit the right recipe, you're going to be going through those potatoes. All right. So Monday is canning potatoes. Tuesday on Gray Man Prepping is, what is your biggest prepping concern? Not problem, concern. And we're going to talk about concerns about prepping, and on that on Tuesday. Thursday night is the Midnight Ride on Gray Man Prepping. Open chat. I started off with some news articles and stuff. Friday, Flag Day. That's all I have on there is Flag Day. And my grandmother, when we were little, even into her teenage years, and just before the year I got married, she had a replica Betsy Ross flag she put up. She had a 48, she had a 50, and the one before 48, I can't remember what it was, how many stars. She had those, and she had us put those up early in the morning on Flag Day.
Cool.
Yeah. She was a very patriotic and American history buff. I see the kids running around out there on their scooters running outside, so at least they're all alive still. And then so that's next Friday is the Flag Day. And afterwards, we're going to be kind of open chat of whatever you guys want to talk about on Friday on Flag Day. You guys want to do some trivia stuff on American history, we can do that too. And we'll see you all later. And thank Tammy for coming up here, and Mark, and all the comments in the chat. Tammy, Kaylin, Denise came in here at the last tier. Rick and Suburban Hillbilly. I missed that comment.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mm.
$25.
Ooh.
Oh, it has a blemish in it. Hopefully it doesn't have a crack in it.
Oh,
where is the Lodge Outlet store? Where is the store? I must know.
Yeah, Suburban, are you still here? Where is this an online? You're talking about the online outlet store, or is it a physical outlet store? I think it's a physical outlet store for it.
Where is Lodge located? I forget.
Pennsylvania. I'm not sure. For some reason that pops
I'll
into my
find out,
head.
Tammy.
All right, let me know. Let me know.
I got you.
Yeah. Anyways, if you have something that's cracked, you go to an old school welder, not one that's going to use arc on it, one that's going to use acetylene gas.
You can do it.
They can patch a crack. Basically, they'll drill right at the very edge of the crack. You just drill out like a little bitty hole, and that stops the crack from going anywhere else. And then they heat the whole pan up. Or if it's like I had
an exhaust manifold
drill
fixed.
press with the plate that everything sat on. It had a crack in it, and basically you heat the whole thing up, and then you grind just a slight into the crack in a little bit. Brazing rod repairs cast iron.
Yeah.
Oh, good to know. I did not know that.
Yeah.
You got to find the right guy to do it, though.
You need to find a guy that's in his 60s or 70s to do it.
I'm only 59, so sorry, Tammy. I'm just kidding.
I'm growing my own welder. Thank you. He's 20.
There you go.
And I'm making sure he gets all these skills. So I'll pass that on to my son.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell him he needs to learn how to ask his instructor how to weld cast iron. Most of them are going to say, you can't weld cast iron. Yeah. And there's your answer.
My shop teacher in high school taught me to do it, and I repaired several cast iron things for myself. And then the rest of my senior year, everybody else was bringing in projects for me to work on in school because he turned me loose in the shop. I had metal shop 7 periods a day, my second half of my senior year.
Nice.
So yeah, I learned a lot of stuff. I cast aluminum and stuff like that, but cast iron, you can weld cast iron. They do have TIG welders. I still don't like TIG welders for cast iron. I like TIG welders for aluminum, but not cast iron. But yeah, you can do a lot of stuff. Hey, Glenn's here. How to garden. All right. So there's a lot, I probably didn't get to half the type pans out there in cast iron. And if you have a flea market nearby you, or a farmer's market,
you're better off finding like estate sale. You want to find good old cast iron, cheap.
Yeah.
Estate sales, garage sales. Unfortunately, it's the people selling the stuff that have no idea what they have. You go to a pawn shop, or you go to a flea market, not a flea market, even the flea markets, they know what they got.
They might.
So check around, get all the cast iron you can. It's great to have, and it's healthy for you.
Yes.
All right, everyone. We'll see you hopefully tomorrow night over on Gray Man Prepping for what is a prepper garden. See you around.
Sweet. Have a good night.